Welcome back. We all have health questions from time to time, and if you have those questions, you're in luck because our doctor on call is here to answer some of your medical questions. Dr. Ryan Stanton, an emergency physician with UK Healthcare, joins us a couple times a month to see what's on your minds and how he can help you understand some medical issues a little bit more. And today we have a question from Whitney that she submitted online, and she wants to know, when should I be worried about a mole?
Well, moles are very common, something almost everybody has. A lot of them start to develop within the first year of life, and we tend to max out around the second or third decade. So in our 20s and 30s is when we max out. Folks that have fairer skin, those that are in the sun a lot more, tend to have more of them and more problems. So here's what you need to look for in terms of things to be concerned about. One is asymmetry. Moles should be about the same all the way around. So you see on that image there, that is definitely not round. It's actually got some irregular edges. That's the first thing. Border. The border tend to be uneven, kind of the asymmetry thing, but along the same lines. Color. Moles should be about the same color throughout. If there's two or more colors involved, then you need to get that checked out. D is diameter. Most things we think about is the size of the end of an eraser on a pencil, for those who still use pencils that much. But about half a centimeter or so, any larger than that, and then evolving. Anything that's changing significantly. So get a good idea. You know what's going on in your body in terms of marks, bruises, that sort of thing. If they're changing quickly, you need to have those looked at. This is some evidence. These are some pictures right here of some common melanomas, the most dangerous type, malignant melanoma, a very dangerous cancer if it's not caught early. There are several other types. The moral of the story is if you have any question, anything new, get it checked out. It's better to know, have it taken off if necessary, than let it sit there.
And it is highly treatable if caught early enough.
It is actually the most common form of cancer in humans, but it's actually one of the most survivable. So if it's caught early and taken care of, it's very easily taken care of.
Right. Well, here's another question. I'm interested in this one myself as a contact wearer. What are the dangers of people wearing 24-hour contacts for too long? That comes from Rebecca. I don't have 24-hour contacts, but I keep them in a long time. So I've had warnings already from my eye doctor, but what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I wish I would have had this question back when I was in high school, because all the time I'd fall asleep in my contacts. Basically, a contact is a piece of plastic that covers the eyes, helps with vision. But the side effect of that is our eyes need oxygen. That superficial layer of tissue called the cornea requires oxygen, and that actually blocks that. So it's the equivalent of holding your breath for the cells of the eye. And as that gets, the longer you get where it's having to hold its breath, the more likely there is of complications, new blood vessels which can change vision, blurriness of the cornea, and most importantly, and what you're seeing there in terms of these nasty pictures, is infection. And that's one of the first questions I ask when somebody comes in the emergency department with an eye problem is, do you wear contacts? Because that can really complicate things. It changes what types of things we can be infected by and what type of treatments we need, and also advice as to what you need to do from then on in terms of the contacts. So contacts, long wear, 20 times more likely for infection. Daily wear, 3 times more likely than infection versus those who don't wear contacts. So you need to wear them as they're prescribed and as your doctor tells you. An average of 10 to 14 hours a day for daily use at most, and hopefully a day off during the week to let your eyes kind of rest and breathe and do the things they need to kind of heal themselves. But definitely don't keep them in for longer than they're prescribed.
And as you see from some of those graphic pictures, if you let it get too bad, then you will end up in an emergency room or and your eye doctor.
And you'll lose your vision if you let that go.
Oh, goodness. Well, important information and great questions. If you want to ask our doctor on call a question, just go to the health section of WTVQ.com. On that health tab, you'll click on the drop-down menu and you'll see the doctor on call. You can submit your questions or comments online, and you can also have a look at some of the answers from previous questions if you submitted one and want to see it. So thank you so much for being back with us.
Thank you.
We will be checking your forecast the first full day of fall, but it, as we know, feels still a lot like summer, right, Mary?
That's right. Temperatures are already inching their way close to 90, and we could be rivaling or breaking record highs. I'll detail that full weekend forecast and the hot forecast today coming right up after the break.